COD League 2021 season platform will be the PC with a controller. There you go. You read my mind.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So COD 2021 will be played on PC with controller. Very fucking interesting, actually. So yeah, not really much else to say beyond that headline. I don't think there's any other information on here. But players are required to use controllers. Mouse and keyboard will not be allowed, but you're also required to play on a PC. Now, this isn't that crazy because, once again, a console is a computer. Now they're just making you actually play on a competent machine, which is cool because exactly like Tanner and Jake said before this article came out, even if you guys even said, even if it's on controller but PC.
Well, because that's what I expected, yeah.
You guys even said that. That's actually crazy that you guys like totally Nostradamus this. Read a book. Even if it was still on controller, if it was played on PC, you'd get to watch a wider field of view, which means there's more action going on. It looks like you move faster, so it's a better spectator sport. You get higher refresh rate, higher frames, so it looks cleaner. These guys are fucking 19-year-old, like multi-millionaires, so their PCs are going to be dumb. So they're going to have 360 hertz Acer monitors.
They play competitive
with 3090 Ti SLIs. Yeah, well, okay. They do better than we do. So
that's for sure. Yeah. Patreon.com/the Dropshot.
Patreon.com/the Dropshot. But yeah, it'll be a good spectator sport. So yeah, Tanner, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm already guaranteeing that I'm going to watch it just because it switched to PC. It's honestly mostly the field of view. I can't do it. If you play on console, you don't know any better. I'm not faulting you, but if you've played on a PC for more than 30 minutes, you'll be like, holy shit, this is so much more smooth. This field of view, it makes the game look so much quicker. It's easier to see things. It's just all around better. So it's going to be so much more fun to watch. Unless they do something dumb in the playback when they're spectating, like they have the field of view set low, you know, they could do something dumb like that. We don't know. But this is a fantastic step. And I don't remember exactly what I said in the episode of Jake, because, hey, we talk a lot here on the Dropshot. We say a lot of things, but I believe I said something about like 5 years from now, but I think I was referring to 5 years from now. I thought it would be played PC, keyboard, and mouse.
Yeah.
So I will tell you this. I did not expect the switch to happen right now. Not at all. Mm-hmm. But that's a great change. You can tell, by the way, all the pros already knew this because none of them like tweeted out and like were shocked when this happened. Like, interesting. After that came out, some of the big PC builders started like posting their pictures saying, "Oh, like building a PC for this pro, for the CDL or for the COD League this year." Blah blah. Nobody was ever like, "Dude, what the fuck? This is bullshit." So these guys have probably known for a couple weeks. And they all wanted it too, I'm sure. I mean, I saw a couple of them specifically saying like, I'm so glad they finally switched this to PC. Like, this is going to be so much better for the players and the viewers both. And another thing that's good to note is you can use any league approved controller. So you can use a PS4 controller, you can use an Xbox One controller, you can use an Xbox 360 controller, which a lot of the pros are big fans of. So it's going to be kind of funny. They're going to be playing on this $4,000 PC using a wired Xbox 360 controller probably. So that'll be it's going to be cool to see because like I wonder if these companies now like Scuf are going to go back in time and make like a Xbox 360 design controller with like the extra paddles and everything for these console pros now.
Wow.
So yeah, that's kind of cool too.
That's super cool. I didn't know that detail.
I love this change. I still think it'll switch to keyboard and mouse at some point. But like I said, that's probably more like 5 years out.
Yeah, we were talking about this.
It's just more competitive. It's more competitive on keyboard and mouse.
Dude. Okay, yeah, Tanner and I were talking about this when this came out in the Fire Instagram DMs. And Tanner said, I think this is like them starting the transition back to keyboard and mouse, like the good old days. And what I said was maybe, maybe not. And here's why. The financial incentive for keeping it as controller allows all the 15-year-olds who buy Call of Duty, who play 9 hours a day, to continue to invest in buying each game, in buying COD points, in playing all the time, because they are operating under the delusion that they're going to be a pro someday. So I think the fact that it's on controller drives a lot of sales for that reason. However, if it did switch to keyboard and mouse, there's also a financial incentive there, because if it was keyboard and mouse, this would be such a better spectator sport. And eyeballs on your competitions, on your events, directly translates to money, because the more viewers you pull, the more money you can charge advertisers to advertise on your event. And I guarantee you that if they switch to keyboard and mouse, you would get far more viewers. Now, a lot of you listening are fucking malding right now. That's mad and balding. That's a Twitch term, by the way. Malding. Look it up.
Is that a new Twitch term, or is that an old
It's
school
relatively new. No, it's relatively new. Like probably 6 months old. So a lot of you are malding right now. You're mad and balding. You're malding because you disagree with me, because you've actually never watched someone play on keyboard and mouse. So I will say this for the 40th time. Twitch.tv/Seritron. Twitch.tv/TheGamingDefinitionTV. Twitch.tv/Nate Gibson. I can name more. Twitch.tv/ERA7E. Twitch.tv/MP Go to any of these streams, watch for 10 minutes, and you're going to say, oh, you're right. This is more fun to watch. Because the aim is disgusting, way fucking faster, because they have a mouse. They can turn their reticle as quickly as they want. And it's just way better spectator sport. Now, I'm going to come just thinking about a Call of Duty league where every team is 22-year-old Adderall snorting albino kids who play 16 hours a day, who have like broken records on Kovacs, just peeking corners and just snapping to each other like absolute god kings. That would be so fun to watch. And I promise you, the spectator aspect, they would get more money from if they switched to keyboard and mouse. So I don't know which of those two factors, the delusional 15-year-olds or the spectator sport getting better, I don't know which of them is a greater financial incentive, but I think they're going to look into that and determine which one it is. And whatever's going to bring Activision the most money is the way they're going to go. So if they determine that keyboard and mouse being in competitive will get them more money, we will see it. And if not, we won't see it. Where do you think the balance lies in that? Is my assessment correct, you think?
I don't know, dude. I mean, what you're saying, it definitely makes sense. It's going to be weird to see, though, because, it's like these kids coming up to like playing on console that can't afford a PC. It's like they're still playing it on a controller anyway. So these guys don't necessarily like need a PC at the start of it, because they can just get used to playing on a controller on a console and switching over to PC. But I don't know, dude. It's hard to say. I think what you're saying basically makes sense. Another thing to note is, remember what I was telling you last night is one of the CEOs of NRG, his name is Hex. He was the founder, like the original founder of Optic Gaming. He believes, and keep in mind, he definitely has insider information on what the league is leaning towards. He believes that by next year, they'll allow keyboard and mouse and controller, so you can play on whatever input you want. Which would also, the timing would be great, because next year is when the league expansion is supposed to happen, which they're adding God, how many teams was it?
Ooh.
I want to say it's 12, but that sounds like way too
I think
many.
they're adding
That's like an
4 to 8 to make 12.
That's what it is. Yeah, because like 12, that's way too many. Yeah. So, but still, like that's not a lot of players. And what I'm hoping ends up happening, and this is another thing that you see. So like in CSGO, I don't know if you know anything about CSGO, but have you heard of like ESL, ESEA? Have you heard of those websites?
ESL I've heard of, not the other one.
So like ESEA, it's basically a website where you can go on, you like find matches, like competitive matches. You like report your wins, losses, and everything. You get put in ranked. So then you'll rank up tiers. I don't know if you can make money in ESEA. I haven't played CSGO in a long time, but there's a lot of people thinking as well that that's going to come to COD next year, because with the Pro League being played on PC, people are speculating that there's going to be like ESEA tournaments and shit that you're going to be able to enter if you're on keyboard and mouse, but it's still going to be like amateur, basically. Like you're just entering this, like anybody can enter it. Like you could be dog shit, but you're going to get destroyed, obviously, you know? So that's going to be very fun to see too. I think this is going to bring a lot to the table, and I think it's really going to benefit the COD League and competitive in general.
Dude, you know what would be, if that's true, that they allow both inputs?
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 questions. I have one question, but first, one fantasy. My fantasy is they add 4 teams to the existing 8 to make 12. 3 of those teams is all controller players. The existing 8 teams remain all controller players. And then there's 1 team of all keyboard and mouse players, and they just rapaciously curb stomp every team and like sweep the number 2 in the finals. And then I can finally assert my dominance as a part of the keyboard and mouse PC master race. Now, don't think that would happen. But if they did allow 2 inputs, do you think teams will be all keyboard and mouse? Wow. Versus all controller? Or do you think each team would have a mix of both inputs on their roster? And for CDL, what do you think's better? Aim assist or keyboard and mouse?
I mean, for me personally, keyboard and mouse. And we saw this in our Damascus hangout, like, because I don't play multiplayer much, so that's when I really notice it. In our Patreon hangout, I could slide by and turn around and kill the guys that were on controller, and I would immediately know they were on controller because they physically couldn't turn fast enough. I mean, you probably could if you were playing on 2020 cents, but most people don't, because that's probably hard to get to. Like, I know Jake plays on that, or played on it, I mean, but most people aren't doing that. So it would just be so fun. And I saw even TGD was pissed, and he tweeted out something. He's like, this is bullshit. They're moving to PC, but still not allowing keyboard and mouse. Like, I was really hoping to get in the competitive scene. So like, just imagine how much more exciting that would be. Like seeing guys like him playing competitive. Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
For real.
I would buy jerseys. I would go to the live events. Are you kidding me? I would love that, dude. I would be
balls deep in CDL if it was K-Bam, dude. It would be so fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope it eventually comes to that.
I hope the mix would make me yikes, because it's impossible to balance. Because like if aim assist is really strong, then controller's better. If it's too weak, then obviously keyboard and mouse is better. It's like impossible to actually balance that. I'd rather a league be all controller or all keyboard and mouse. But if they did do a transition, it would be really fun to see like which input does better.
And so we've said it. Keyboard and mouse better on multiplayer. I think controller is better on Warzone.
Agreed.
Those are our thoughts.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And that varies by game too. Like Hyperscape, controller is just way better. Apparently the aim assist is insane. Yeah.
The game's dead already anyways, I think.
Yeah. Thanks for checking out this clip of the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe because in addition to clips like this one, we also have full episodes of the podcast on the channel, as well as gameplay breakdowns and more. The show is streamed live on twitch.tv/Razinon every Wednesday and Saturday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So give us a follow over there, make sure to turn on notifications, and you can chat with us live during the podcast. And of course, we are available wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search for the Dropshot on your favorite podcast app and make sure to give us a follow. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. And as always, remember, stay humble.